Welcome to Speaking Of, I'm Jared.
And I'm Kate.
Alright, so let's start out before we forget.
Oh.
Viewer of the Week.
Viewer of the Week.
I hope you have somebody.
Of
wow,
course I
we're
do.
off the cuff today.
So, Viewer of the Week is our newest fan. One Amanda Cox.
Oh.
Say hi to Amanda. She
Hi,
likes you
Amanda.
best.
Oh, yay! She has excellent taste.
Well, that remains to be seen. Just kidding. We love you, Amanda. You are the Viewer of the Week.
Thanks for watching, Amanda.
Yay, watch more. Share us
Yes.
with your friends, Amanda, and everyone else. Devin.
Wow, that wasn't threatening at all. Oh, never mind. We'll talk about that later.
Yes,
anyway.
we will.
Off camera.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to start? Because I got something good that I've been sitting on.
Then you best get it over with, because otherwise you're going to spill it before you have a chance.
I've been sitting on it for a while, and
Okay.
I kind of debated whether I was going to tell it on the show or not, but it's
But
pretty
here
good.
we are.
Here we are. So, as Kate obviously knows, and should any viewers you know that have missed episodes before this,
Beverly. What?
Beverly knows this too. I work with middle school age children.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? I know, right? Especially since this week I got accused of, I hear a lot of Jaredisms coming out of their mouth lately.
If it's any consolation, I get to be present around teenage girls as well, so
There you
we're
go.
both leaving our mark on society. Good luck,
Is that what they're calling it now? Anywho.
society.
So, we have a class library of books like most classrooms do, and in our class library of books, we have the Guinness Book of World Records.
Am I in it?
Not yet,
There's still time.
but there is still time. So these books I have to throw in are also found in most school libraries as well.
Because people read them.
Right. So our class library is right next to my office area.
Okay.
And one of my boys is like looking through the books of the world records, and he's like, "Mr. Vincent, look at this. It's the world's oldest male stripper." Now,
Speaking of Jaredisms,
so I look over, and it's this aging white-maned fella. It could have been Old Man Whitehair for all I know.
that must be why he moved.
And he's kind of got his shirt unbuttoned. Nothing scandalous or anything. Just, this is it. So, every once in a while, things escape my mouth. I try to really filter myself
Every
at work.
once in a while?
At work, okay? At work.
Okay. I'll buy
And
it.
out of my mouth, I say, well, now you know what Magic Mike's going to look like when he's old. And I'm like, oh, and I'm kind of choking on it. But wait. His response,
Jeez.
that was a good movie.
No! What? Why? How?
So here's my thing. This is also now number 4 of the moments that Jared was speechless. Speechless! I think I was like...
Okay, so here's my concern.
Well, here's my concern. So this is when I've told a few people this story. I'm like, my concern is not like anything about sexuality, nothing like that.
No.
My concern is that a 13-year-old is watching a stripper movie.
My point.
Men or women, don't care.
Doesn't matter. So, speaking of children watching inappropriate movies,
Oh, thank heaven. I thought we were going to say, speaking of strippers.
not this time. Tune in next time. Just kidding. So,
Tune in next week.
here's this kid watching Magic Mike, and then producer and executive producer won't let Scooter go see the boy. And he really wants to. So, speaking of the boy, let me tell this story.
Speaking of the boy.
because I enjoy this. All right. If you have not yet heard of or seen a trailer for the movie called The Boy, coming out last week.
I think it's already done.
Already so it's one of those creepy movies, right? The girl from America goes across the pond to Great Britain.
Silly girl from America. That's the first downfall.
Don't tell Wesley. Anyway,
Oh.
so she goes to get away from from some past, right? So she goes there. She's going to be a nanny for this older couple who has
Speaking of older couple, anyway, continue.
who has an 8-year-old boy. She meets the 8-year-old boy to find out that he is an 8-year-old life-sized doll. And when I saw the preview, I full on laughed when they showed the doll. It was just like the Muppets Christmas Carol, where they pan in and then it's Kermit's legs. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that well.
Quiet theater, and then there's me. Anyway, I know it's hard to
just
imagine.
like when we watched Cruel Intentions. Continue.
Anyway, so we were talking about this movie at work. And I don't see super scary movies, especially ones with creepy dolls that like talk.
Even if it's a horror movie preview, she turns away, and then she makes me tell her when it's okay to look.
That's not a lie or an exaggeration. So I laughed at that part, and then the preview got scary, and I had to look away. So anyway, we're talking about this movie at work, and one of our coworkers says, "Well, now I have to know how it ends." So he looks up the ending, and of course Beverly loves spoilers, can't handle being surprised. So when he's like, "Do you guys want to know?" She says yes, and I said, "Well, I'm not going to go see it, so yeah, tell me." So he tells me the ending, and just kidding, I'm not going to tell you the ending. But once he told me the ending, I was like, "Oh, well, maybe now I can see it, and I won't be scared because I know."
Right.
How it
What's
all
gonna happen.
pans out. So then that was my little hypothesis, right? So then I kept reading up on it, and now I know all about this movie.
It's like she had the script.
I almost did, really. So I have all this information about the movie, and I was like, not only am I not going to be scared now, but I think I might find it hilarious. So I tell my sister, who loves scary movies, "Hey, let's go see The Boy." And she totally is like, "No, you don't want to see that." She didn't believe me. She wants to go.
Right.
Jared won't see it.
I won't.
The Hubs
see it.
won't see it.
I got problems with dollies.
I got my siblings coming with me, and we're gonna go see The Boy. And I'm probably gonna be the only one laughing and ruin it for everybody. I can't wait.
What day is this?
Monday.
Oh, Monday.
I know. So when you hear it. But Beverly thinks I'm obsessed with this movie, and I guess I kind of am, because until I see it and decide whether this philosophy works,
right?
It's an experiment for me in, science.
Speaking of science.
Maybe I didn't need you today. I don't know.
No.
I almost had to do the show by myself today.
She did, but I resurrected yet again. Anyway.
Wait, first, speaking of scary dolls.
Because I do have a science story.
Let me backtrack for a minute. Speaking of scary dolls. So I was at a church function recently for youth and their leaders, right?
That's true. Okay.
Okay. So afterward, we're kind of milling about, and this gentleman from the back...
You gotta be hesitant about the gentleman in the back. Was he wearing a trench coat?
This whole encounter...
Did he want to sell you an M?
Would you like to buy an M? This whole encounter was so bizarre. Okay, so he comes up to me. I've never seen this man before in my life.
Was he, like, lurking?
He looks a little shifty, but he seems nice enough.
Okay.
So he comes over, and he introduces himself. I cannot remember what his name was. And so I introduce myself, and I, explain, my location or whatever, so that maybe he'll realize that he doesn't know me. And he kind of keeps talking about the meeting, and he's like, "Yeah, it was great, and blah, 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 and I don't think it just needed to be for youth, and blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, yeah, it's great, yeah, mm-hmm. The whole time I'm thinking, why are we having this conversation? Why are you talking to me? There's a lot of other people around. So we kind of just chit-chat a little bit. And then as I'm trying to, move towards my group and get away from him, he makes the comment that, "Well, Annabelle told me to come and say hello."
Oh,
and I was like... Annabelle the doll?
Does Annabelle live in your pocket?
Because that I would believe. I don't know any other Annabelles except for Ingrid's sister, who I've never actually met, so it kind of doesn't count.
Well, and Annabelle's an unusual name, so you would remember.
I would know if I knew an Annabelle. But so yeah, I was just like, "Oh yeah, okay," and then just kind of kept. I don't know Annabelle, and if he's talking to that doll, then maybe he just needs to stay out of it. If Annabelle has a message for me, she can deliver it herself.
So did you ever find out who Annabelle is? Or no? Oh, man.
No, because I just said, okay, and I walked away. And thank heavens when we passed him again, because we were looking for refreshments, and they were on the other side of the building, he was on the phone. Now, let's talk about science.
So science. So this week...
This week in science,
we had a substitute teacher this week, and...
For science?
Not for science, but she was working with us, and... in science this week, for this unit, we're talking about weather and climate change.
Interesting.
To which this substitute, this woman, the teacher is teaching and goes up and says, "I don't know how you teach this if it's not all true." And so So, after some questioning...
Stop it.
No. This is good. I can't... Okay, I gotta get to the point of this story. I'll be laughing at it in my head. So, she says, well, I just think the scientists are making this up. And the politicians are telling us a completely different story.
You don't say.
Have you listened to Donald Trump?
Shut up.
And so, which the science teacher handled it very well, because her main point was, well, why would scientists just make up this stuff? You know?
Right.
It's not like they're sitting around, they have no agenda. Why would they?
Who in this has an agenda?
Maybe we can have a war with Donald Trump now.
Speaking of Donald Trump.
We'll be getting the hits like crazy.
Do you remember? I don't know if you saw this. I think
Donald
I posted it
doesn't
on
care about
Facebook.
us.
Of course he doesn't. I think I posted this on Facebook. But so the Hubs and I are sitting there and we are talking, and the Hubs' back is to the television, and we're in a conversation.
Which is amazing.
It's true. So then our little dog, she's not little, but she's smaller than the other dog. We call her the little one. Anyway, she starts inexplicably growling. So we look at her, she's growling, we follow her line of vision, and Donald Trump is on the television. She's never done that before or since. It was hysterical.
He probably thought he had a small animal on his head.
She might have done. Even when she sees animals on the TV, she doesn't growl at them, but that is one ugly animal.
Because he was wearing a dead animal on his head.
Oh, fresher.
Something pleasant.
I love it.
Wow. Oh, just in case you were wondering who we're not voting for. Because we're handing out political endorsements now, apparently.
Listen, if we say one thing, everyone's going to do the opposite.
We like Donald.
Wow.
We like him a lot.
So, in other science news,
Oh, wow. Oh, that's right, because
science,
you had a science. You had a science!
I had a science. So, I went to Scooter's science fair the other night.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of interesting, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Science projects have come a long way since our
Since
day.
we were
I was
kids.
like, they're like making batteries and stuff, and I was like, I think they put like carnations in colored water to see if the flowers would change colors. They did, by the way. But yeah, like...
I don't remember what I did for my science project.
You probably didn't do one.
I probably blocked it out. I remember some kind of traumatic memory, but anyway.
There were some pretty cool experiments there, I'm not going to lie.
The pictures that you sent me were good.
Yeah, so my favorite part was this boy had done his experiment on music and whether or not it impacts your heart rate. So I'm looking at, on the one side of his, his trifold poster board, and it says, jazz music dropped the heart rate to 71, metal to like 90 something, and then blues was like 77.
Rhythm and blues.
So I'm standing there. This poor kid doesn't know me. Scooter was standing next. He was next to Scooter's project, so at least
Right.
I wasn't complete
You
stranger
were a
danger.
complete creeper, like the guy at the church.
Right? At least I didn't talk about dolls sending me to say hello. So I'm looking at it, I'm reading it to him, and I'm like, okay, so what you're telling me is jazz music makes you almost dead, metal music makes you crazy, and blues music puts you somewhere in the middle. And he's like, I guess. So then I happen to notice on the other side of his trifold, he has his hypothesis written out. And it's handwritten, unlike, all the cool kids that have printer paper, but his is handwritten. So his hypothesis is written in blue. And then underneath it in black, it says, I was right. And I loved it so much that I left and then I came back to take a picture of it. Now, here's what's funny.
And this is when he got scared.
He kind of did. He was like, oh. So 3 rows later, okay, I'm weaving through looking at these projects. I look at a project, and now this one I can't remember what it was, but the kid says to me, I was right. I'm like, what? And I said,
It's all about being right, especially in science.
It's true. But I was like, how does he, my reputation precedes me, but I'm like, it's not written on your board, so. I kind of can't really take your word for it. But
No, I wanted to ask you because she sent me this wonderful picture about energy drinks making electricity or conducting electricity. What was it?
You know what? I'm not going to lie.
What did it do? That's the end of the story. I wanted to know if it makes me electric.
Okay. So here's... Thank you for bringing that up.
Oh, good.
Speaking of what you want to know from a science project. Okay, there's a gazillion science projects. I mean, they're so close to each other, if you breathe on one, they all fall down, okay? So there's
true.
a billion in there, and you're trying to make your way through before you die, all right? It's true.
It's like the labyrinth.
And
She
no
was waiting for David Bowie.
And I knew he wasn't showing up this time. Speaking of David Bowie.
No.
Anyway, so I'm looking at these, and some of them have pretty cool, like, headlines, if you will, titles at the top. But then there's just all this stuff that they have to put on there, which I get. But I don't have time to read all that. I need what the hubs would call, oh, no, I can't remember the word.
Cliff Notes?
No. Hubs?
No, he's not invited. Plus, he's imaginary.
Dang it, there's a word for it. Anyway, basically, give me like 2 sentences that said, I wanted to see this, and this is what happened. That's all I want. I need to know the headline, and then was it true or not, and what about it? That's it. Put all of your testing and stuff, because I know the teachers make you do it, and you're going to have to do it for, like, if you want to move up and stuff. Fine.
If you want to move up, if you want to graduate.
I need a Post-it note on the side that says, I was right. That says, this is what actually happened. That says, Monster drinks can power you for 20 minutes.
Do I have powers?
I don't know. Because I didn't have time to read the whole thing. All I saw was that it said, what did it say? Power...
Can monsters...
Electricity and
Well, it was
energy
drinks produce electricity or something.
I don't even know. I took a picture of it. And
because I was really hoping that after all these years I would finally be a mutant.
Finally?
I mean...
Right. Right. But let me tell you about Scooter's science project.
Oh, dear.
I know. He did.
We're running long.
I don't care. So, sorry, Luann. So, his was on paper airplanes. Okay? So he had the 3 paper airplanes. And I feel bad because I'm telling this story partly because I kind of... Well, I didn't really make fun of his project, but...
How nice that you were supportive enough to show up and heckle. You heckled him.
I just questioned his results a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
So he has his 3 paper planes, and he shows their progress in the throws and how far they went and stuff.
Right.
So the 3 airplanes are named Bulldog, UFO, and Perfect. Well, the one that's named Perfect was the best one and went the farthest.
How did he know?
So I said to him, thank you. So this is a legit question.
It is.
I said, so did you name the planes before or after your experiment? And he said, before. And I said...
I call shenanigans.
I said, well, then are we sure that it wasn't just the names that caused the results? Because the Perfect plane is like, I'm perfect. I got to perform the best. And the UFO plane is like, I'm a UFO. Nobody believes in me. And Bulldog is like, we can't fly.
We're too heavy set.
Exactly. And he kind of chuckles and he goes, you have a point. Poor Scooter.
I can't imagine, because I was thinking the other day, out of all of your nieces and nephews, I think he's the one that's been consistently throughout his life inflicted by me.
Now there's a social experiment. Let's compare him to the others and see what happens in another 5-10 years.
That's right.
Sorry, Scooter. You haven't got a prayer. Oh my goodness.
All right, shall we wrap it up then?
I suppose with a pretty little bow. Did you bring one?
Maybe.
I think that's what producer's for. And I'm drinking water, I'll have you know.
That's right. Water. I'm Jared.
I'm keeping secrets.
We'll
I'm
see you
Kate.
Now we'll really see you next time.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Sad that it's over? Well, it doesn't have to be.
No, it doesn't. If you like or comment, you can still be interacting with us. And if you want to make other people happy, you can share us like an STD. Or just click share.
Please just click share.
Share with your friends. Sharing is caring.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, subscribe.